quasi-linear convective system, or QLCS, is also known as a squall line, a line of storms that can produce strong straight-line winds, heavy rain, hail, and even tornadoes. QLCSs form along or ahead of a cold front or along an MCS. Usually you can visually see the gust front and scud, but today was different. It was milky white and packed an incredible punch. Storm motion was incredibly quick, and you can't rely on radar data.
It is Easter Sunday. Hello, everybody. I am on my way to pick up my dad. I'm taking my dad storm chasing today, but we have an enhanced risk that is in central Missouri. My original target was Mexico, Missouri, because I think that it's going to happen a little bit more to the north than the Jefferson City area there. But there's already a supercell that fired outside of Jefferson City with a tornado warning, but it died out really fast because it's pretty murky skies right now. It's not clear over here in St. Louis, but it's probably clearing out towards the west. So I'm gonna head out that way to the original target area, and we'll see what happens. That cell that popped up earlier moved into that more stable air and just died out immediately, which makes sense since it's quite murky outside right now. But further to the west, we're starting to see a little bit of blue sky, and that's what you want to see, is blue sky. If you're sitting underneath a milky sky like that, you're not going to see anything for a long time. Once this cap kind of starts to break, as the sun's so high on this side, that's whenever things are going to happen, which is supposed to happen around 4. If you can get cells that fire in front of that line, that's what you want, because once this congeals into a QLCS system, it's going to be tough to chase. It's going to be embedded supercells. We're still going to do it, but we're going to stay in front of it the most we can today. But as of right now, we're right here just outside of Wentzville and Wright City, going through Warrenton. I take 70 all the way up towards here. There's some chasers already up in this area near Mexico. They started down in Jefferson City today, which I was like, I don't want to go to Jefferson City. It's a mess. I try to stay on the south side of 70, away from all the trees. Mexico's been my target today, and that's what I'm going to commit to. This is outside of Mexico, Missouri, and it's kind of a waiting game right now. But this is the most instability that is in this area for those things to happen. So now we just wait. And this is the line. I was really watching this stuff here, hoping that was going to do it, but now we're just going to have to wait for all this to move up our way. And it's unfortunately going to be QLCS. There's already a tornado warning down south towards Lebanon, but I'm looking for anything that'll fire out in front of the line, and it looks like some other chasers are doing the same thing. But Mexico was my target. I'm still happy with it right now. It's just going to be waiting for this stuff to get to us. Right back there, that is tornado warned, and it's moving our way. So I'm not going to continue going north. Originally, I was staying north of all this stuff, because if it fires any cells right here, you got to stay north of them because the storm motion's so fast. But this whole thing is kind of starting to bow out, and it has a lot of rotation in right back there. So I'm kind of in a good position right here to just sit and wait for it to come basically like this. So just made it west of Mexico, right here in the tornado warned area. You can see it's a big, huge congealed mess right here. I do have an escape route to the east, and that's west in towards the path of it, which we are not going to do, but it's basically right back in here. Pretty rain wrapped though, I will say that, which I figured that was gonna happen with this whole QLCS mess. And the rotation was pretty strong down by Columbia, but you can see it's kind of curving back up this way right now, and that's our position right up here to the north. So when it gets closer, we're going to keep an eye on things, see if we can see any lowering, wall cloud, whatever. If it's too rain wrapped, then we'll just go to the east, and that'll be our exit. Yeah, straight line winds.
Straight line winds.
Look at that right there.
Earlier, Jeff was saying 70 mile an hour wind.
Yep.
And that's what this kind of looks like.
It is, yep. So we're We're split between the two cells right now. Let them go by. We're just riding this stuff out right here. It's just going to be for the next few minutes. And then when we get behind it, we can actually start to see some stuff. But yeah, it's pretty wild. Pretty wild winds out there. 70-mile-an-hour straight line winds we're dealing with. Crazy.
No hail we got.
Yeah, I might get a little bit of hail. This thing packs a punch, man. Turned into a giant windbag. I figured it would be. Wanted to see what it was like on the backside, see if we could even chase any of this stuff, but no supercells fired in front of the line today, sadly. That's just, sometimes that's how it goes. Those are easier to track and see everything. This is a matter of just kind of waiting for that line of wind and rain to get to you. But there's small spin-ups that were happening. That one looks actually pretty decent right there. There were small spin-ups that were happening in the line, but it's too dangerous to like get near those circulations without, you know, you won't see anything if it does happen. So we just took our escape route, went east out of Mexico, and then we went through that little town of Scott's Corner, it looked like. Yeah, Scott's Corner. And stopped at that school to just kind of ride out the 70-mile-an-hour straight line winds. But, you know, straight line winds still pretty awesome to experience. Still severe weather. And this is just the beginning of the season, you know. It's just starting to kick off. So I think we're going to see some crazy stuff this season, if you ask me. All right, so the end of the chase, we didn't see any tornadoes today, but we saw straight line winds and some craziness with all of that. All the tornado threat was pretty much rain wrapped, so you had to be on top of it if you wanted to see it, and we did not. But
Yeah.
it was a lot of fun, regardless.
It was fun.
Yes. If you guys do want to see me get on a tornado, you can check out this video right here that took all the way to Oklahoma back to Missouri for me to find a tornado. But I got it.
Yep.